Welcome back, everyone. Now, if you train it, you can regain it. That's the motto of our next guest.
10 years ago, Dr. Helena was devastated when her father was diagnosed with dementia. But rather than let this disease define her family, she's teaching carers how to actually defy it. Doctor, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Can you just take us back, first of all, to the situation in your family when your father was first diagnosed and how that affected you?
I was living interstate from my parents at the time, and I remember the first thing I thought was, this must be a mistake. And I immediately went into all the possible alternative diagnoses. Has he had his thyroid check? Does he have sleep apnea? Could he be depressed, vitamin B deficient, dehydrated? Does he have a urinary tract infection? Because all of these things can resemble dementia in an older person, and it is important to rule them out. And they had been ruled out.
Right.
So then my next thought was, OK, where are we at with this? Because dementia is such a broad term. There are more than 100 different causes, and each type has its own subset of neurological symptoms. So my approach, and even within one type, no two people are the same and no 2 days are the same. So my first thought was, OK, what can he still do? What is he still capable of? And let's build on that. Let's maintain and strengthen the brain function that he still has rather than focus on what he's lost. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing, isn't it, Helena, because living with someone who suffers from dementia can have an emotional impact. I mean, what sort of toll did it take on you?
Utter exhaustion was the first thing, just looking after someone 24/7. I mean, mothers know that, but I didn't. And the unpredictability of it. I didn't know how he'd be from day to day. Out of the blue, he'll accuse me of selling his favourite shoes because he can't find them. And then the next minute, he's depressed, he wants to die because he's a burden. And then the next minute, I'm insensitive because I'm on the phone and not paying attention. And I used to take it really personally and think, what am I doing wrong to bring on this behaviour? And now I think the disease just runs its course, and rather than react against it, I try and work with it. And by that I mean he can't retain memories, and so if I can distract him long enough from the stolen shoes, if I can divert his attention to something pleasant, then he will forget that I've stolen his shoes within a few minutes.
Right. So you've called it your adventure with dementia, and so you're constantly trying to find ways to defy this disease. So what have you come up with, and what ways have you found to improve, I guess, to be most effective in this situation?
I think the most important thing is continuing to find ways that he can contribute to others. That was the biggest lesson. I used to do everything for him, and then I realised he needs to feel of value, he needs to feel connected to people. He still wants to give. We never lose our desire to help our fellow person. So he lights up when I ask him to help me, whether it's take out the garbage, whether it's walk me to the post office because I don't want to go by myself, even shredding paper. He does Meals on Wheels because he can do that with somebody that's capable. He does it with 97-year-old Eric. Eric's the driver, Dad's the runner. I do a runner when I see them.
Yeah.
But he comes back on a helper's high.
Yeah.
So that is a really important thing, empowering them to continue contributing. And, of course, physical exercise.
Important.
Vital. We build brain cells when we actually exercise.
So if you can train it, you can regain it. That's where that motto came from?
Yes.
You're an interesting person, Helena, because your father has dementia, but you're actually a specialist in geriatrics. So, I mean, for you, this must be just, you know, an incredible kind of time for you in your life to be able to relate so clearly.
Yes.
What's your advice to people out there? And we were saying this week, you know, there's a lot of talk about how 1 in 3 people will now end up suffering with dementia. I mean, what's your advice for people at home who might be watching, wanting to prevent that possibly?
Number one, keep yourself healthy, regular physical exercise, ongoing lifelong learning. Actually, a half an hour of exercise a day, even if it's just a walk, will cut your lifetime risk of dementia. Staying socially active. Loneliness and depression are big risk factors. So if you stay socially connected, halves your risk. Ongoing lifelong active learning.
And you did say in the break to us that sugar plays a big part of this as well.
Yes, we're calling dementia type 3 diabetes because really high blood sugar levels, even in the absence of diabetes, cause a decline in cognition. And time in nature, interestingly, actually, NDD is a new disorder, nature deficit disorder, that we are more likely to be stressed, depressed, anxious if we don't spend time in nature. And nature actually enlivens us, energises us, help us focus and concentrate.
Doctor, thank you so much for coming in. So many incredible tips, and thank you for using your journey to share them with us. We really
thank you very much.